All right, welcome to another special episode of Crunch Time with Katelin. This time featuring Brown's Twitter legend, DIP at Donald McCarthy Jr. Donnie, how's it going?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm good. So you want to come on talk about the Browns? So let's talk about the Browns. I know you got a lot of hot takes with the Browns and Hugh Jackson. Well, first you called Hugh Jackson coming to Cleveland.
Yes, I did. Back in January 13, I wanted him to come here. And, and this past off season, you know, his name was rumored to, be a candidate for a head coaching job somewhere in the NFL. And then the Browns, requested an interview with him with the Bengals. They granted it. And, you know, D Haslam and Jimmy Haslam, they made it happen. And life's been good ever since. I mean, this team is really, and the fans are really in store to see what a properly coached team looks like and properly disciplined team looks like on in all four phases of the game, which is, offense, defense, special teams, and coaching. And you know, I just think that, this is a new era for the Browns, even for the players that have been here. And, especially for the rookies coming in, drafted and undrafted. I mean, it's going to be great because, they drafted some real good guys, I think, this year. And, when I was at camp on Sunday, Jeremy Nackern made a point to tell me, he's like, look at the wide receiver core, look how tall they are. And he was right. The only midgets you see out there is Hawkins and Gabriel. And it's like, and one of those two guys are definitely getting cut. But, I would say that Hawkins would make the team somehow. I mean, obviously Hawkins can't go on the practice squad, and I don't think Gabriel can either. But, you know, with Gordon being on suspension, I think that one of them might be able to make still be on the roster. I'm not sure how that all works exactly, but they do. They really look like it's even the tight ends like that Hamlet, Barnage, and that other guy. I mean, they're all tall, and that's what you need. You need guys that could, stand tall and catch the ball, because a lot of the DBs in the NFL are short. They're not as tall as the wide receivers, unless, you're facing Seattle, where they're all tall. And so I just think that with the coaching staff that Hugh brought in, like Hal Hunter, he's a beast. He's probably one of the best offensive line coaches we probably have had in decade or two. So, the guy can really coach, the offensive line, which is only going to help the running game, which is going to help the passing game and RG3 or whoever's at quarterback, So I think like I've been saying, 8-8 or better. I tweeted the other day, it was a hot take that, we're a dynasty in the making, because I really believe that. I really truly believe in Hugh Jackson. I love the guy. I'm probably like stalker status with him, but that's all right. He's my guy, and he's the best.
No, yeah, and I mean, finally, it looks like the Browns got their guy, and it's not like we had to wait. We had to wait for three candidates to turn us down. It's like we went into the off season with our number one target being Hugh Jackson, and that's who we got.
Yes, and when that happened, when I got the tweet or the text, actually, I got a text from the Manimal. He's like, "We got Hugh Jackson." I started screaming at work, and my boss at the time, he looked at me like I'm crazy, and I told him, and he just rolled his eyes. He's just like, "Oh God," because he knows how nuts I am for this team, and because I'm like a Browns super fan, like on crack. And I just believe in this guy ever since when he was with the Raiders, and then he was with the Bengals, and watching him on Hard Knocks. When he made that rookie trying to make the team waddle like a duck, to help his lean, for running drills and in the preseason, that right there, like, put me over the top with Hugh Jackson, because I totally got what he was doing. And I don't know if a lot of other people did, but I did. And I just thought that was genius. It's little things like that, little coaching tips like that that help players, which makes the difference in this league. That's why Belichick is so good, and that's why I think that, Hugh Jackson's the next Belichick of the NFL. I really believe that, and I think it's going to happen for us. And I just with Gordon's like addition to this team, and he's able to stay with the team during his suspension. He's only going to get better in those 4 weeks that he's not playing. He's going to get time to rest. He's just going to be able to get acclimated with the game again. 2 years removed from football for any player, I don't care how good you are, is is just is a blessing. I mean, for him, because I mean, for him to get acclimated, it's going to be hard for him, I think. And I don't think it's going to be easy. I'm not expecting the guy to kill it in the preseason. I'm really not, but you never know. And so, I just see the guy just in week 5. I see us beating the Patriots. I really do. Tom Brady's going to be back that game, but I see us kicking butt. And I think we're going to light it up. On the defensive side, see, that's my question. If we go 8-8, the defense has to match our offense for that to happen. And I'm not sure if that's going to happen because I'm hesitant on Joe Hayden, if he's really going to be back to the Joe of old. And if Desir and Gilbert are going to learn and get good enough to complement him if he is Joe of old, But K'Wan Williams, can he stay healthy? Can he, not get a concussion every other game? I mean, because we need those guys to step up because that's only going to help the pass rush. But, Agba, I mean, they got him on defensive end because of Bryant's injury. And I really believe Horton, I mean, is a beast at defensive coordinator. I mean, that was one of the best defenses the Browns have had since '99 under Ray Horton a couple years back. So, I think good things are coming for the Browns. I think these fans are going to be in for a surprise. I don't think they're going to know what to do when they do. I mean, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy, and everybody thinks I'm nuts. I get shout outs on A to Z because they think I'm nuts for that. But when it happens, I told you so. I'm saying it now, and it's going to be great. I plan on being at the home opener, and in other games, to hang out with the Browns Twitter crew because those are my peeps. We all get it, and they're all good people. And, this is a good time to be a Cleveland sports fan, not just for football, but for baseball and basketball. I've never experienced this before, and it's a good feeling. And, I just hope that these winning traditions, for all 3 teams, Browns haven't won yet. But when they do, I just hope it continues for the future and years to come because there's nothing like it. The whole city, just everybody's in a great mood. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're at in this country or in the world. If you're a Cleveland sports fan, it's a good time to be alive. And, I just can't explain how it feels. It's just like if you're not a Cleveland sports fan, then you won't get it. But if you are, you do get it. And there's really no explanation to be given, so.
No, yeah, and there's a lot to unpack. First on the Josh Gordon thing, I'm yeah, he was out all of last year, but it's not the first time that happened. If you remember,
Yes.
he went from Baylor, and then he got kicked off of Baylor. He went to Utah, then sat out that year, and then entered the supplemental draft. So it's not in unfamiliar territory, which I guess is a good thing. I mean, a good and a bad thing. I mean,
Right.
bad that he had to not play at Utah and get kicked out of Baylor. But a good thing is where he knows what he has to do to get himself ready, and he's he's an older player. I mean, older as in like actual NFL experience, and he just knows what he'll have to do, which is why I'm cautiously optimistic about anything we could get from Josh Gordon.
Yeah. You know what? That's a good point because if you remember, was it 2 years ago, the Falcons game? If I'm right on that, I think it was 2 years ago. That game, all he did was, catch those little slants, those little hooks, 5-yard hooks. And, he had over 100, like 11 catches, like over 100 yards or something like that. But that was a piss poor performance, from what we're used to seeing from Josh Gordon, and he hardly trained at camp that year, and it really showed that game. So we'll see. I think that with him, and if Pryor makes the team, I think Pryor right now is showing that he could be, you know, a top receiver in the NFL. I think he could be with more experience, in live game action. But if just think about it, him, Coleman, and Gordon and Pryor, those three alone with Barnage, and even if one of these other big tight ends pans out, I mean, Jesus Christ, I mean, our offense could be a nuclear superpower this year. I mean, I know that's a hot take, and people are like, "Oh, no," but I'm telling you, I see it, and I know how Hugh Jackson offense operates. He loves the tight ends. If you remember when I believe Derek Anderson was it Derek Anderson that was the quarterback at the time when we played the Raiders when Hugh Jackson was a coach. Brandon Myers that game had a shit ton of catches. I mean, he was lights out. He goes up free agency signs with the Giants and did nothing, done nothing. So, I think Hugh Jackson is what this team needs. And, I mean, guys like Joe Thomas and, that are going to stick around, and other guys that are up for free agency next year and the year after that are going to stick around because of Hugh. It's sad that Alex Mack didn't bother to stick around because he's with those crappy Falcons now. And, you know, I think he's going to regret that. I really do, especially if we make the playoffs this year or even next year, or even if we had a good year this year, we don't make the playoffs. I think he'll regret that decision. I really do.
Again, there's a lot of to untangle. I think. Did you mean the quarterback for Oakland
No,
when,
like
or for the Browns?
for the Browns, Derek Anderson was our guy because they had Campbell at the time. You know what I
No,
mean?
no. It was Colt McCoy.
Or we had Colt, but
Because
they
it was
had
2011, and they had.
yeah, you're right. Good,
Yeah,
thank you for correcting. I appreciate that. But like
yeah,
they had Campbell, right? And
yeah, and then Campbell got hurt by the quote
yes.
unquote white linebacker brigade. So
The white linebacker brigade. I've never heard that. Actually, I've never heard that till now. But that's funny you see that because, like, Johnny's first game where he started and he played the Bengals, or no, maybe it was the year before that. I'm not sure. Was it that year? Whatever. I think it was the second game because we had the Thursday night against the Bengals. We killed them. Then the following game, I'm not sure. But either way, Campbell was starting, and I even said on Red Zone to Andre and Mary Kay that I think that Hugh Jackson, you know, because he was with the Raiders and he was Campbell's coach, he knows the strength and weaknesses. It's not going to be an easy win for us, And she came back later on the show and made a point to bring that up, and it turned out to be true because we got our asses handed to us that game. So I think Hugh Jackson is the best thing that ever happened to this team and to the players and for Josh Gordon because you know what? Like Belichick, he handles that. There's nothing he doesn't know about. And I think Hugh Jackson's approach is going to be the same. He's going to have a guy in the bushes following this dude around. And if he sees something going on with Josh that could be detrimental to the team or his life or career, he's going to say, hey, man, don't do that or, find a way to stop it before something goes bad. So, there's reasons. I think there's more reasons to be optimistic than negative. 2-14 isn't going to happen with this team. And if it does, the only good thing that could come out of it is drafting that Watson from Clemson because, yeah, I know they say you never know how these guys are going to be when they hit the pros, but that guy's going to be the number one pick next year. And if we were that shitty this year and had a 2-14 year and we did compete, I hope we get that guy because, with him, there's no doubt that he's going to be the next Cam Newton. He's not going to be a bust like RG3 has been thus far. He only had one good year, but, I think RG3 under Hugh, if he stays healthy, I think he's going to flourish. And, so like I said, there's more reasons to be optimistic than negative with this team. I just don't see, I just can't be negative at all towards this team right now. It's like anything they do is just awesome. I know it's hot takes, but it's only hot takes if it turns out that I'm wrong, So I think I'm right, and that's just me.
um yeah. Quickly on the white on the white linebacker brigade. I'm pretty sure that's an A to Z thing.
Oh,
So,
I don't remember that. I really don't remember that one. I mean, I
um,
listened to them all. I mean, that was probably, early on in the A to Z, in the A to Z, in my A to Z catalog. I'd have to go back and look, you know, and I just didn't hear that one for some reason. I don't know why. Congrats to me for that. But
um, but quickly, we got a couple questions from Daniel Santos.
okay. What's
He,
up,
he
Daniel?
wanted he wanted to know about he wanted to know our thoughts about Ray Horton coming back on defense. And quickly, I mean, I always liked Ray Horton, and it's funny that we're paying him twice. Um, from the first time when he was with us in 2013. I didn't think the defense was all that bad. But I do remember us having like a lead of some sort in like the third or fourth quarter and then consistently blowing it. And I don't know if that was like a microcosm of, the offense and the lack of a running game because who do we have? Like Willis McGahee and
Yeah, and
um,
oh, what's his name?
Baker and Bobby Rainey and yeah,
Yeah, didn't we get rid of Rainey that year for him to go to
yeah,
Tampa? Yeah,
yeah.
okay. Yeah.
We had McGahee, Obaniah, Fozzie Whitaker. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
Obaniah's on fire, man. That was my guy. Because I coined that phrase on Red Zone, Obaniah's on fire. But because he would have those games where he would just light it up. But yeah, I really think that it was a lack of the running game and just teams just knew what to do against us. They knew to throw eight in a box and they owned us. And I just don't see that happening this year. There's no way. I would be completely shocked and just complete let down if our season turns out to be like that. But I just don't see it unless injuries just hit us like crazy. Knock on wood, But I just don't see it. I just don't. There's no way. There's no way. Hugh Jackson's too good of a coach, and these guys are going to be too disciplined. And if these guys do fuck up in a game, he's going to light their ass up. He's not going to stand there and be quiet like Pettin would do. He's gonna tell these guys what's up, and if you don't like it, get out. I mean, accountability is going to be number one on his list for these guys. These guys are going to be accountable for everything they do on and off the field. And, I just wish I had a life coach like Hugh Jackson, in life because, I'd be better off today for it, but it is what it is.
no. I'm extremely excited about Hugh Jackson, and um, I mean, a competent coach, a competent. I mean, just look at his assistants and like you were saying about Hal Hunter and all that. I mean, Al Saunders, Pep Hamilton, Ray Horton. You again keep Chris Tabor, who's been with like how many head coaches with the Browns.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
so I mean, it's I'm optimistic for the future. I don't know about this year. I could honestly see us winning 4 games, and I could see us winning 8 games. If we're being honest, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna like pen in 8 games or 6 games. I'll probably just pen in 4 or 5, or I'll make a dumb prediction like 4-11 and 1 because I always try to get a tie in there. But I'm excited. I'm very excited about the Browns.
Yeah, I am too, and it's all because of Hugh. We owe it to Hugh. It's a Hugh world order now. We're just living in it, and it's a good thing. And I hope it stays like this forever, man. I don't ever want it to change. I mean, this is good times, man, and it's a great time to be alive in Cleveland.
I mean, wait a minute. To be fair, we should be thanking D Haslam. And I know for a fact this is the only Twitter thing I'll bring up. You you were a little hesitant about um about D Haslam being more involved with ownership stuff, correct?
Yeah, I was at first, and you called me out for it on PS4 chat one day. It was great, but yeah, I was because I'm not. It's not that we've had female owners. Look at the Chicago Bears. I mean, you know what I mean. That lady that's owned the team for however many decades now. But yeah, I mean, just because I haven't heard of a lot of owners, male owners, wives having, anything to do with the team. Usually it's the owner. But more power to Jimmy Haslam because, I didn't think about it at the time, but at that time he had a lot going on with the whatever flying pilot J scandal and all that stuff. So she did her job, and I can't thank that lady enough. I mean, she's on the Mount Rushmore, man. I mean, seriously, she's up there with like Haslam. I mean, I couldn't stand Haslam to be honest with you till he got Hugh Jackson. I mean, I really couldn't stand him. I hated the guy for what he was doing and all the crap he brought to the team. But man, they made up for it with Hugh, and they've done nothing but show us that they're changing the culture. They expect to win. No more play like a freaking lame ass Brown. It's full go from here on out, and it's just good stuff. I just think more people need to realize what we have in Hugh Jackson, and I think that they're so used to losing. We've all lived in a losing culture for so long that they're not used to what winning could be or is going to be, and they're still in that negative mindset. I'm tired of being a loser fan. I want to win, and that's what I'm looking forward to. And when I really want something, I really will something, and I oppose my will, I get it. Like at Browns Fest, I tweeted before I got there, I'm going to get Hugh Jackson's autograph on that shirt that Daniel sent me, and I got it. I said, I'm going to get Gordon's autograph on Sunday at training camp, and I got it, So I see no difference in the Browns winning. I think it's going to happen this year. It's going to be a good year. I really, honestly, do I expect them to make the playoffs? Hell, fuck no. But you know what? If the Chiefs can do it from sucking the year before, why can't we? And all they had to do was get Andy Reid and Alex Smith, and they went to the playoffs and lost to the Colts in a shootout. And that was one of the best playoff games I've ever seen. That whole playoff year was great for NFL football. One of the best years for playoff football ever. And that's honestly the best football you get to see all year is in the playoffs. That's my favorite time of football is playoffs because you got college playoffs and NFL playoffs, and then my favorite day of the year, which is Super Bowl Sunday, and Browns opening, first game of the year. But yeah, I mean, it's good stuff that's going to happen. I just think Cleveland needs to stay woke. Get your popcorn ready, cut a hole at the bottom. I don't give a shit. Whatever floats your boat. I mean, it's going to be a good year. Hello? Hello? Did you get all that?
I got up to the Kansas City Chiefs part.
Okay,
But I filled you in. I filled you in. I knew what you were gonna say. So we had some technical difficulties.
Yeah, but like I said, like I said before, get your popcorn ready, cut a hole at the bottom of the popcorn, whatever floats your boat. I mean, we're going to be winning this year. I think we're going to be so competitive. It's going to shock people's minds how different of a team we look. And I just can't wait to hear like A to Z on winning instead of losing. I can't wait to, read people's tweets. I mean, it's going to be insane. I just think this year is going to be insane. I don't think I'm even going to know how to handle it myself. I think that, I'm gonna get kicked out of my house because I'm gonna be yelling so loud you can hear me at the front of my condo complex. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm gonna try to go to every home game this year, So it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. I'm not gonna be able to make camp anymore this year. That's not gonna happen, due to circumstances, but good circumstances. So
All right, cool. Let's change the topic of not just Hugh Jackson, but actually the actual players on the roster.
Yeah, let's do it.
There was a report just today that since Nick Foles is going to reunite with Andy Reid, he's going to Kansas City. That Dallas, since Kellen Moore just got hurt, I think he broke his ankle.
Yeah.
That Dallas might be looking for. They're obviously looking for a backup quarterback, and Josh McCown is
Their top guy.
probably the top guy that's semi-available. So would you
What are my
trade Josh
thoughts?
McCown? Yeah, would you trade Josh McCown, number one? And number two, like, I think there's an actual argument to be made that he's the best quarterback on the roster.
I would agree that he is the best quarterback on the roster. But even though he didn't win any games for us, I think his
Hey, no,
knowledge.
no, he won that
One
Baltimore
game?
game. He won that
Okay.
Baltimore game where he set the record for the most passing yards in Cleveland Browns history. So,
Okay. All right. Well, congrats on me again. But you know, he won one game. That's cool. But still, I think he is the best guy at quarterback for the roster. I think what he can teach RG3 and Kessler is invaluable. I think the only way you trade him is if you get a really good player in return. Because if they want him that bad and if they need him that bad, most likely Romo is going to get hurt again this year. I bet my life on it he will. So yeah, I mean, put a high price tag on him, make him pay it. If you want him that bad, you got to pay. You gotta, pay up, sucker. Fuck you, pay me. Type of thing. I mean, because Josh McCown is a beast, and I think honestly, I mean, if you don't get a third or fourth round pick for him or a really good player in exchange in a position that we need, then don't get rid of him. I really do because I think the Chiefs, did a great job stealing Foles. I mean, if Alex Smith gets hurt, didn't he have his best year under Andy Reid, Nick Foles?
no, that was Chip Kelly. So I
Oh,
believe that was I
because you
believe that
said he
was
got reunited with Andy Reid, so
well, I'm pretty sure in 2012 Andy Reid drafted him in the second or third round. Um, but I know for his I know for a fact his best year came with
yeah, that's
I
when he
believe it
had
was
like
Chip Kelly, yeah, with Chip Kelly and
he
Mike
had
Vick.
what 3 or 5 interceptions or something, but a shitload of touchdowns. It was something crazy like that, some crazy like number. But I like
Mhm.
Nick Foles. I mean, honestly, like if he was a free agent and RG3 was a free agent, I almost would have went with Nick Foles over RG3. Just because Nick Foles isn't a shitty quarterback. He really isn't. I think he's a great addition. I don't know why Dallas couldn't sign him. I don't know if it was a money thing or just he wanted to go with the Chiefs where he felt more comfortable with Andy Reid versus Jason Garrett and Jerry Jones. Who knows? But I think that's awesome for the Chiefs. I like the Chiefs. I think that the Chiefs are a good team. They've been really good defensively under Andy Reid. I think I love that team. I've always been a Chiefs guy. You know, um, I've always been an Andy Reid guy because Andy Reid has always had good running backs. He's always had, good quarterback, playing for him most of the time. I mean, Don McNabb was awesome under Andy Reid, and and their defense was pretty damn good too.
Well,
You
all
know?
right. Well, here just an argument against Nick Foles. If you take out his 2013 season under Chip Kelly, where he threw 27 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, he's thrown in his career 26 touchdowns and 25 interceptions. So he's mediocre at best. And I
Yeah.
mean,
Okay.
honestly,
Okay.
I would have probably just taken RG3, just because like he really hasn't played that much since um his rookie year.
Right.
And I mean, and they rushed him back obviously his second year, and
Right.
then that kind of fucked him up. And last year he didn't play at all. Colt
Yeah.
McCoy was the backup quarterback
Right.
for
I
the
think that has to
Redskins. So
do, I really believe that has to do with like, all great quarterbacks in the NFL, if I'm not mistaken, all had equally good coaches. Like the coach quarterback combo, I think is detrimental to a quarterback having good success or not. Like Drew Brees and Peyton, Brady Belichick,
yeah,
Reed and Bowl.
but I mean, Kirk Cousins had a fantastic year last year, and it looks like the Redskins found their coach
Right.
in uh, in Jay Gruden. But I
Right.
think it was just like he wanted to, he thought of
I,
his quarterback as someone like Kirk Cousins, and not a mobile quarterback like RG3.
yeah, I
And
think
and
it
I mean,
has to,
and honestly, everyone knew that. Everybody wanted to go forward with Kirk Cousins, and it was the owner who was basically the only person left from the RG3 trade. You know,
right.
I think they gutted the entire front
Yeah, they
office.
did.
They
They got
they
rid of
gutted
Bruce Allen. Yep.
yeah they gutted the entire the coaching staff because Shanahan's were involved with that. And I mean, you can't really blame, Jay Gruden. He tried with RG3, and it was
Yeah,
just
and he
like,
had to. He did his
yeah.
due diligence as a good coach should do. But like I said, he tried with them. But I think all along he wanted Kirk Cousins. I know. I think good
But
coaches
every
out
coach, but
there.
you can't blame him because he wanted his guy, so and he
Yeah,
got him. And it looks like Kirk Cousins is going to be the Redskins quarterback for the future. I
yeah,
know he signed his franchise tag, but if he
I
plays
like that.
extremely well this year, he's going to get a long-term deal.
Yeah, he is. He is, and I think Kirk Cousins is a really good quarterback. It's funny. Remember when Hoyer and they were saying, "Do you want to get Kirk Cousins or Hoyer?" I was always for Hoyer at the time because, I remember listening to Bruce Turner one day and they were talking about Hoyer or Kirk Cousins. And, he made a good point at the time. Kirk Cousins showed that he is no better body of work wise than Hoyer at the time. But look at him now. I mean, he's he's playing great. And I think he's only going to get better. And, so. I think that if quarterback success does have something to do with your coach, your coaching staff, and also to the player gets taught, but he also has to take it upon himself to go out on the field and, do good out there. The coach can't play the game for him, obviously. So, you know, that's why I think RG3 is going to do a good job. I do. And if I had my way, I would have RG3 start. And if another quarterback, if he gets hurt, I would put McCown in, and I would let Kessler sit because that's Hughes' guy. Kessler's Hughes' guy. He said it when he drafted him. So let him sit like Aaron Rodgers had to for a couple of years because, I don't care what anybody freaking says. I know we've talked about this. Aaron Rodgers wouldn't be Aaron Rodgers today if he didn't sit behind freaking Favre for 4 years, 3, 4 years. That's just my opinion. I don't know if that's a hot take or not, but that's just,
I mean, I think there's a debate with that. I think coming out of uh, where did he come out of? I think it was Cal.
Cal. Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
he was arguably the best quarterback in the 2005 draft,
But
but
was
because
he? But was he
but
at the time of the draft though? Was
uh, I
see that's a
mean,
thing.
I think people got hyped over Alex Smith in Utah, and if you remember, Urban Meyer was his coach, so people were all on the Alex Smith hype train.
But look at Alex Smith. He didn't do good until Harbaugh became his coach. That's why I think.
No, yeah, I'm not saying, but
You
I'm
know,
just saying.
you're right.
Aaron Rodgers could have gone number one overall. He could have, but he didn't. He dropped all the way to what was it, 22, 25.
22. It was 22. The
So,
famous 22.
quickly, apparently, people on Twitter think you're a Chiefs fan, and
I'm not
if
a Chiefs fan. I just
and wait a minute, if
oh
so,
oh
as I was
fucking Andy
no,
prick.
Daniel Santos wanted to know if you loved Priest Holmes. So,
Oh, did I love Priest Holmes? Hell yeah, I love Priest Holmes. Who didn't love Priest Holmes? I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, dude was amazing. I mean, geez, that's a dumb question, Daniel 805.
all right, hey, remain calm. I was
I'm calm. It's just that's a pretty stupid question in my book, though. But go ahead.
just remain calm. Okay, so we talked a little about RG3. We talked about Josh McCown. Um, wide receivers. So obviously we touched on it briefly. You mentioned there was a bit of a battle as with the slot receiver, Andrew Hawkins and Taylor Gabriel. I think it'll go to Hawkins just
I
because
do too.
you need a veteran something
Yep.
uh, on the offense, and it seems like Andrew Hawkins fits that perfectly, especially since I know he wasn't coached by Hugh Jackson in 2012, and but he was still on the team, and he knows Hugh Jackson. So
Yep.
I think Hawkins gets he'll be the number 3 wide receiver. I think.
I do too, because you go with who you know and the devil you know. So yeah, definitely, man. I think Hawkins is. I love Hawkins. I think you need that little guy in the slot. I mean, I think a lot of look at all the great wide receiver slot guys throughout the years. You had Ricky Prohl, Wayne Kerbeck, the guy from the Falcons, Finnernan. So those So I just think that the little dudes in the slot like myself. I'm not a receiver. I'm just saying, man, little dudes are great. They just you don't see them coming, and you can't see them coming, so they're hard to tackle. And you get that first down. So I don't think we're going to see a lot of drops from these receivers this year. I mean, I think with RG3, you got a quarterback that's got arm strength, and if Hugh Jackson is who I think he is, I think that he's going to coach, these guys to catch the ball. He's going to coach RG3 to throw the ball the right way at the right time so these guys can make the catches they need to, move the chains.
Quickly, when you talked about Brian Finnerlin as one of the short guys,
He's not that short,
well,
but
no,
he was slot.
he's okay. But I was just about
Slot.
to say he's 6'5", so he's not short
Yeah,
at all.
he's slot though.
Probably one
That's
of the biggest
I
wide
mean,
receivers.
yeah, he's slot, but you know what I mean? So,
No, yeah,
being slot's important, especially these days. A lot of spread offense in the NFL. A lot of teams play that more now than ever. And, slot's important. With Gordon being out there, these teams are going to double him up. It's going to leave everybody else open. So, so I'm telling y'all, nuclear power offense, folks. Get your popcorn ready. Whatever, man, it's coming. You heard it here first. DIP said it.
well,
The
that's
Browns
another reason
offense
why I
being
wanted
nuclear
you.
power.
That's another reason why I wanted you on the podcast. You say all these hot takes. When we talk, and I'm like, well, shit, we got to have this recorded. We got to record this shit and make sure that when the Browns go, 2-14 this year, and when you when you're saying, man, they're going 8-8, Hugh, Hugh World Order and all that shit, we could go back and make fun of you and all that stuff. Because
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. It's gonna be great.
these are some extremely hot takes.
I
So,
know, man. I know they are. I got
and
Andy
especially,
texting me that my hot takes are trash, and he's calling me 1,000 times while I'm talking to you. But it's cool. I mean, I just really believe that. I just believe it. I just wish the fans out there would. I don't want the fans to believe it to where like so much that it's a letdown. Because even though I believe it, I still in the back of my mind, the smart part of me, not my heart, but the brain part of me really knows that anything can happen, good or bad. So it's not going to be a letdown for me. But as long as they compete like crazy and you see the improvement from game to game, I'm going to be happy as hell.
no,
I
honestly,
really am.
that's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm not wins and losses. I mean, it's important, but honestly, if it's just we if it looks like dudes are actually developing into actual NFL players, then I'm all for it.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I'm all for it too. It's going to be so exciting. I just haven't been this like pumped for a Brown season ever as much as I've been for this year. I mean, fuck, dude. It's gonna be crazy. I mean, I just really hope I'm right. I really hope not because of you guys gonna, trash me and my mentions if I'm wrong, but it's just we need this, man. The Browns fans need this. This town needs it. I mean, it's just gonna make everybody's gonna be so much happier. The Northeast Ohio's in general is just gonna be so happy. I mean, you're gonna have cats and dogs dancing together, and fucking. I mean, if Hugh Jackson pulls his shit off, it's gonna be crazy. I mean, it's just gonna be crazy, and it's gonna be awesome, and that's what I want. I mean, I rather not have. I want that more than anything. I mean, I just want us to get there and win in the playoffs. I want it to happen before I freaking die. I'm tired of losing. I was a little kid when the Browns went to the AFC Championship those 3 years in a row. I was 6, 7, and 8 years old. So like, I'm a little dude. I barely remember stuff from back then. I remember stuff, but it's not the same as being a grown up and experiencing it live in person. We could say we were there. Yeah, we were, but it's 30 years ago. I mean, get over it. You know what I mean? It's the future, and that's what we need to look forward to. And you got to think positive because if you think negative all the time, only negativity comes your way. So I'm positive as hell. Probably the most positive Browns fan in the world right now. But you know what? Because I believe it and I want it to happen, and I think it's going to come true.
yeah, I mean, I definitely hope it comes true. And I think we're definitely on the right path to
Yeah, because think of the
success.
players that that Pettin drafted, the last draft, okay, 2015 draft. Most of those guys sucked last year, but I think under Ray Horton, Hugh Jackson, these guys are going to flourish.
Well, I think
So it's almost like
someone like Danny Shelton.
right,
I mean, they actually know what they're doing,
right,
and it's not really. It really wasn't like the players. It was like, what are you doing schematically?
right. It
Like,
was the
why are you
coach.
putting Paul Kruger? Why are you putting Paul Kruger into coverage? You're paying him $8 million to rush the passer. It's like
Exactly,
this doesn't even make sense.
exactly.
You have Cam Irving, who, I mean, he just got destroyed by basically everyone,
Yep.
but he wasn't at a position. They're like, okay, you're the utility offensive lineman. And it's like, well, how are you going to how are you going to develop a rookie at a position and then not really play him at that position? Like, that just
Exactly.
doesn't make sense to me. Which I guess I'm a little more hopeful center wise that he'll be all right. But we got Matthews from the rookie from Texas A&M,
There you
and
go.
it's
His
like,
daddy
hey,
and his
yeah,
daddy
yeah,
played
and it's
20
like,
years in a Hall of Famer. A lot of these guys that have kids that are coming in the league. I mean, I would say more often than not, those guys succeed more than they don't succeed. But like I said, I think at center, we're going to be better this year. I mean, than we thought we were going to be. Alex Mack, I still think we're going to miss to this day. But that's on him, not on us. So, I
yeah, but
mean,
I mean, but let me say something right quick. The thing with Alex Mack is like, you're trying to build toward the future, and it's like, with Alex Mack, he probably only has 2 more really good years left. So it's like,
yeah,
especially with this team, you're almost you'd rather just go with the young guy and
yeah,
hopefully
that's a
they
smart play.
develop instead of paying Alex Mack,
Right,
was it $10
right.
million? And I knew they even overpaid him. What?
Yes, the
Uh,
transition tag.
yeah, well, not even the transition tag. They, God, what did I think they offered him like $10.5 million, but he signed with Atlanta for $9 million.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, good for you. You want to go to Atlanta and try to win
Yeah,
and
get paid. Get paid.
hopefully,
Get your money.
yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
plus, he knows Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, he does.
Shanahan's the offensive coordinator in Atlanta, so
Finally, yeah, he finally got away from his daddy's shadow and went on his own. Congratulations to him. I mean, I met his old man a couple years ago at at the Cincinnati game where Johnny got destroyed by the Bengals in every way. So,
mhm.
I mean, his old man was nice. I mean, so, yeah, I mean, I thought that him being there, him seeing that, seeing how his son playing, coaching for a shitty team like that, I think that's probably the day where Kyle Shanahan decided to leave the Browns. And, that's just my opinion on that. And,
Well, especially with Johnny Manziel as your quarterback,
yeah,
but
Johnny's a joke. I mean, I hope that guy gets his shit together, but I mean, I won't even let my kid wear that T-shirt that says Manziel. I mean, he goes and beats up his girlfriend and makes her deaf in one ear. The dude's a
allegedly,
POS, allegedly.
allegedly
Allegedly,
that
I
happened.
mean, we all know it did, allegedly or not.
Allegedly, it happened. You have to say allegedly.
Allegedly, because I don't want to get sued or get you sued, But yeah, allegedly. But he's a piece of crap. And you know what? This team's better off now, not having a distraction like that, in the locker
Well,
room.
obviously, yeah.
I think I know Josh Gordon is going to hang out with the dude, whatever. I mean, I just hope that Josh Gordon, when he does hang out with him ever, that he's just, trying to tell Johnny to do the right thing, stop doing the wrong thing, stop getting high, stop drinking, stop, hanging out with Bieber and just start, being a man in life because he's got to get his shit together in life before he could ever think about joining a football team. No matter, what how he gets there, he's got to get his life together. I made mistakes in my life. I'm one of the like I did something really stupid, and a couple months ago I went on Twitter and I opened myself out there and I spoke the truth, about what I did wrong, and you know what, that took a lot of guts and whatever, and you got to that's accountability. That's accountability right there. You got to be accountable for your actions. You say it, deal with the consequences. Like last week in my little Obama tirade, that's all
But
right though. That's all right though.
we're
I'm
not
accountable.
talking about. We're not talking
I
about
know,
any
I
of
know. I'm just saying. I'm just
that
bringing it
team
up,
stuff.
and I'm just bringing it up as an accountability thing.
No,
That's
and I get that, and we could
yeah,
just end that there because
yeah.
this
We
is a
will end
Browns
that there.
podcast. We're
It
talking
is a
about the
Browns
Browns. So
podcast. You know what I
okay,
mean?
so let's go to the defensive backs, and there's a lot of battles there. You know,
Name them off for me, just in case.
uh,
I,
okay, so as of right now, I mean, you got Joe Hayden, you got Trayvon Williams, you got
yeah,
K'Wan Williams,
Desir
um,
Gilbert.
yeah, Desir Gilbert, but it's mostly at safety. The rookie, from God, what was it? TCU,
Yeah.
Kendrick, I think is
Yes.
his
I
name,
almost forgot
and
about it.
Jordan Poyer. Um, it's definitely interesting. The secondary is going to be extremely young, which is going to put more pressure on guys like Joe Hayden and Draymond. I mean, also depending on how they kind of run their defense, if it's going to be more of a zone blitzing type scheme,
Right.
then maybe we'll be okay. But I mean,
There's
at
still
least,
holes in that type of
yeah,
defense as well.
exactly. And
So
especially you're counting on Jordan Poyer, who's basically he's penned in as our free safety for next year.
yeah,
But I mean, he really hasn't played that much. He has played sparingly, with when Tashawn Gibson was out. He's played sparingly in sub packages. But I mean, it's definitely interesting. It's gonna be that's where I think our pass rush is going to be extremely important if we want to win
exactly.
6 games.
Exactly.
Just
Yeah.
because, you know, I don't know how well someone like Joe. I mean, I don't know how long someone like Joe Hayden and Trayvon Williams can lock up someone, especially since they can't really rely on an extremely young safety core. So that's
Yeah.
why guys like Paul Kruger, Barkevius Mingo, who are in their last years of their contracts, so they do have something to prove.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I
but
think Mingo is going to be all right this year. I mean, I know that's a hot take in
no,
itself.
no, no. It's on. It's
I,
really
I
because
see it happening.
he
I
had
see
a
with this.
solid
I
year,
see with the culture change. He's finally gonna take that leap.
and
And you know,
he had an extremely solid year, rookie year
yes, he
against
did.
with Ray Horton, and
Yep. And Joe Banner, drafted him. And I hated that pick when he did. But like you said, he had a good year. He flashed like crazy. I
yeah,
think.
and unfortunately, what happened was, again, they didn't really use him to his strengths, and I think now that apparently he put on some weight, so that's good, and
Thank God.
now he'll be better in the rush in the run stopping, um in the run
Yeah,
stopping.
because how many times did he let guys go right by him? I mean,
I
more
mean,
times than
it was
count.
consistently every time they run to his side, and
Yeah,
I think that's kind of
set
why
the edge. He can
yeah,
finally do that.
and that's why I think they did try to switch him with Paul Kruger, but it was like Paul Kruger, he's paid to be a pass rusher, and that's basically it. He's not fast, so it's kind of hard for him to do it, run stopping
Yeah,
adjust stuff.
exactly.
So
And that's why I say congrats to Jim Kelly or Chip Kelly for bringing Jim O'Neill because gosh, I mean whoever like in fantasy this year, whoever the Niners play,
who's
I'm
defensively
I'm gonna I'm
next
gonna,
year.
I'm gonna I mean I'm gonna start whoever's playing the 49ers defense this year because they're gonna be trash and they're gonna get dogged all year long. I mean Jim O'Neill is the worst defensive coordinator I've ever seen. I mean, so, I mean, I just, like you said, you made some really, really, really good points there. I think Mingo's going to improve. I think Kruger's going to get to the passer. He's shown that he can get to the passer. He's quick enough. He can get down low and get around the tackle to do that. So, I'm really, really excited to see Orchard take that step because he flashed late last year. So if Orchard and these guys just do it, I mean, wow. I mean, the world is ours, and man, it's going to be fun to watch. It really is. Kirksey's probably one of the best guys that we got, at linebacker because he played, he could play safety if he really needed to. The dude's fast. He's fast like a DB is. He can cover, he can tackle, he can do all that good stuff. So, Kirksey's one of my favorite players, on the Browns defense. He's great. He's a good guy, you know. So I'm really looking forward to seeing him. Schobert, you know what? And to all those haters out there that don't think Scooby's going to make the team, watch him make this team. I said it in May. I'm going to say it right here. The dude on Sunday tore up Crow in a tackling pass block drill. He made Crow look like his bitch. And you know what? He's going to make this team. The dude's got a nose for a ball. He can intercept. He can do it all, And if Nassib turns out to be great too, it's going to be awesome. It's just going to be great to see. So.
And then we still got guys from last year. We still got Nate Orchard, who we drafted in the second round. So it's definitely going to be exciting. Again, I'm not expecting anything win-loss wise, but I'm expecting them to play competent football, and I don't think that's much to ask.
Right. When you do the little things right, you're going to play competent football. You're not going to make those bonehead mistakes. They're going to stop playing Michael Myers music on third down, and you'll stop seeing Andre, talk about. I'm just saying, it's going to, all those bad negative things are going to go away because of, doing your job the right way. And you know what?
And which is exactly why they canceled practice the first 2 days. So.
Oh, come on now.
That's exactly why.
See, I disagree with that, though, because...
That's exactly why. They were not going to risk, going out there doing interception drills and Trayvon Williams tearing his Achilles. It just wasn't going to happen.
I think injuries like that happen, rain or shine, regardless. But hey, you know what I mean. I just think.
Look, you've been at practice. You know the grass. It's.
I know.
It's that like.
That's why they make spikes, longer, shorter, different sizes.
Yeah, but or you go inside and you don't risk any of that.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
and don't even say about the Patriots doing that because the Patriots are a winning organization. We are not. We are.
Yeah, but why are they?
To build up. Yeah, because they've set a tone of of doing things the way they do them. And if that means playing out in the rain the first few practices, then fine. But now with a new team, we're not gonna go out there with Joe Thomas and him tear his ACL. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, I see your point. I do agree with you.
There's no other point. There's no other point. I am right on this. I know I'm right. You're wrong, Donald.
We'll agree to disagree, but it's cool.
We're not agreeing to disagree. Hey, Katelin, get a hashtag Katelin don't lie.
All right, Kate don't lie. All right, hashtag Kate don't lie. I love it. You know what? You are, though. You're a smart person. You really know your football. And a lot of people out there, if you're not following Kate, you should follow her because she knows her shit, dude. She's a smart girl. And you know what? She's a good friend and she's awesome, and y'all should follow her if you don't already. So,
Well, thanks, Donald, for saying nice things.
Oh yeah, I'm a nice guy.
What other things did we not address?
Special teams.
I mean, special teams really doesn't matter. I think we got
Ibrahim Campbell. Dude, I think this dude's gonna make. You know what? He could be a guy that can up for a safety spot. I liked him in college. He played great with Northwestern. You know what? I just think that he's meant for more things other than special teams, and we'll see how he does. And
he definitely has a chance because he plays strong safety, and it's basically him and
Poyer.
Poyer plays
free safety, but still
Derek Kendrick. So that's kind of
never heard of him.
That's the DB we drafted from TCU in the fourth round.
All right, in the fourth round. All right, yeah.
I think it was.
But yeah, I mean, I love Ibrahim Campbell. I thought it was a great draft pick when we got him. So I know I'm documented on Twitter for saying that. I love Ibrahim Campbell.
You
dude.
do know that was a Jim O'Neill guy, though. You do know that was a Jim O'Neill draft pick.
Yeah, well, that's fine. That's fine. You know, that's a Jim O'Neill draft pick. He did one thing right. That's cool. You know, more power to his one thing he did right in this world. I mean, it's cool. But, you know, who gave the worst press conference ever? So, you know, I mean, I like the guy, and I think, you know, we still got Coons as our kicker.
Yeah, Coons and we brought in another guy to battle with him.
Yeah.
Patrick Murray.
All right, Patrick Murray. All right. The other Pat. All right. So, all right. Well, you know, I mean, I think Coons is a good player. I think we're gonna be okay in special teams. I really do. So,
All
you
right.
know, that's
So quickly before we end, kind of rapid fire Browns questions. Uh,
okay.
so who's going to be the offensive MVP for this year?
Huh. I'm
Actually,
gonna say,
you know what? Let me rephrase that. The, who? Because we'll probably do another one before the season, um, so we won't get into that stuff. That's my bad. But give me three players you're looking forward to seeing in the preseason games, and
on
then we'll
off
just end with that.
on offense, and then
No,
we'll do offensive.
no, just three guys on the team.
I think it's gonna be Coleman, Terrell Pryor, and Kessler, and you know, on the offense side of the ball, that you know, so you know, somebody we really haven't seen play in the NFL. So, you know, defense is going to be. I'm really excited to see Shelton again under Horton. I want to see how Nate Orchard does under Horton. And I'm looking to see how the secondary is because that back end needs to be protected at all times. That's so important. So, you know, the ass end of the defense is you got to protect that ass. So, you know what? You don't want that ass getting tapped on 1 o'clock on Sundays because only bad things come of that. So, you know, I mean, so yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to see as of right now. And I know we'll get to other podcasts and we'll do, you know, like I'm sure we'll, you know, do a pre-podcast before every preseason game and one after every preseason game.
I don't know about that. Remain calm, Donald.
Well,
This is my show, not yours. If you want
I
to do
know that.
yours, then you do yours.
I'm
But
not
remain
doing my.
calm.
I like being the guest on people's show. You know what I mean? So you know, I don't want that. I don't want to have to deal with all that. I ain't got time for all that. I'd rather be the guest star, not the host. You know.
All right. So we'll figure out another time in the future, to get you back on. My three guys. I don't know if you agree. RG3, just to see if he can actually play quarterback still. Um. Uh. Josh Gordon. I don't know if he'll play any games, but I'm extremely curious just to see. You know, it's because you could tell right off the bat, even in preseason games, if he wants it or not, and I think that's going to be extremely important.
Right.
And then my third on offense is the battle at center between
Yeah. I
Cam
like
Irving
that.
and Matthews.
That's very, very good. Three, your picks are very good. I think the center is very important. And you're right though with Josh Gordon if he wants it. I won't be surprised if he doesn't play the first preseason game.
Well, I don't
But I
expect
def-
him to play the first preseason game, but I do expect him to play at least the third and fourth one.
yes, yeah.
And then defensively, quickly, at strong safety, you know, Ibrahim Campbell, Derek Kendrick. Um, I'm curious to see what Agba can do,
Yep.
and I'm also curious to see how the inside linebackers, you know, guys like Kirksey and Demario Davis, who we got from the Jets, you know, because it looked like we finally added speed to our linebacking core,
Yes.
and that's so important, especially if you play the 3-4, and especially the attacking 3-4 that
Yep.
Ray Horton does. And
Yep.
it's like,
You got to
well,
go
at
from
least,
side to side.
yeah, exactly. And with speed comes, you know, with speed you could drop guys in coverage, and and it
Big kills.
well, let me try to think what I'm trying to say. It you could be creative that way, because if it's a slow guy, you're probably not. If you have a slow inside linebacker, you're probably not going to drop them into coverage. And now that we have fast inside linebackers and outside linebackers, I mean, obviously depending on, the package, whether it's Paul Kruger, but all these guys are fast and are going to be able to attack the quarterback and drop into coverage, and which
Yeah,
is why the Steelers defense with Ray Horton and the Cardinals defense with Ray Horton was so good. It was because of guys like Calais Campbell and Darnell Dockett up front, but it was also because they had
Patrick
the
Peters.
ability. Well, they had Patrick Peterson, but it was the ability to bring guys from everywhere and be confident that the guys dropping into coverage, whether at linebacker, um, inside or outside, they are able to run to their spots and cover their areas as quickly
Yeah,
as
yeah,
possible. So you could bring a safety on a blitz or a corner at a blitz. So you know what I'm trying
yeah,
to say?
yeah. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. These guys need, with speed. You don't want dumb fast. You want smart fast, and
Exactly.
you want guys to be able to stay in their lane and know their role. And I agree with you 100%. I mean, you like you said, like good teachers are able to teach the students and produce. I mean, that's why I think that I have more questions on defense than I do offense. But like you said with Horton, I agree with you. I think it's going to be fun to watch. It's really going to be fun to watch. And like you said, speed. I mean, you're right. We're a lot faster because those outside linebackers need to go from side to side fast. They need to be able to stop the running game. Like you said, the slower linebacker is going to be, he's not going to be dropping into coverage. He's going to be, most likely a run stopper, at the line or something. But, I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I just can't say it enough or more. I mean, we'll have to wait and see how it goes. Next Thursday or Friday, the first game, the 12th, so I'm really looking forward to see these rookies and the second and third team because I really a part of having a good team is having good backups. So we got to have depth at all positions and especially at the skill positions and because one guy goes down, it could fuck up the whole thing and that's why it's important to have depth. So you know
Yeah, and quickly, the Browns, they just signed two guys, fullback Robert Hughes and running back Rashawn Neal. Hughes is a third-year fullback out of Notre Dame. He's played in 22 career games with Arizona and Indianapolis.
that's huge. That's huge.
And I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I guess there's a battle at fullback between
There
him and
is.
Malcolm Johnson. I think Johnson, he did get hurt, and he has a concussion, so that's most likely why.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
Rajon Neal, he's of his first year out of Tennessee, and he participated with the Browns, during minicamp. So they re-signed him and whatnot.
That's good because you know what? I don't see the coaching staff bringing in guys that they don't have confidence in themselves. So, I like what they're doing. I really do. Um, I mean, if this defensive line can do what I think they can do, and Shelton becomes the guy I believe he can be, I mean, gosh, it's going to be fun to watch. I mean, because when you're rushing the passer, you get that middle pressure right up the middle. I mean, that's how the Giants were able to defeat Tom Brady the way they did in the two Super Bowls. Middle pressure right up the gut. That's huge. And you know what? And when we
I
do,
mean, in theory, that's how they did it, but you have to remember.
I know
I
they have
mean,
to
the
and
Giants, I mean, no, but the Giants, they run a 4-3, and the Browns are running a 3-4.
yeah, I know
So,
that. I know that. But you know what? They play 3-4, but you'll see the guys in a 4-3. You'll see
well, I
that.
mean, that's basically just the base, you know,
Yeah, the base,
defense.
but like you
So
said, they play a lot of sub, they play a lot of nickel, you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's gonna be really weird because we're so used to seeing shitty football from our team, and I think this year we're gonna see a lot better. You're gonna see what a real team looks like, and I think, when we play our division games, I don't think a lot of teams are gonna expect us to play this good. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. I just think teams are gonna sleep on us and not realize how good we really are, and then they really will have to prepare. That's why I believe that we could take the freaking Patriots in week 5. We have a chance. We have a chance. It's a 50-50 chance. You know,
I don't know. I mean, it depends. I mean, in
if
theory, I would say, hey, maybe Tom Brady will be rusty, but he's Tom Brady, so probably not.
right, but if you do, it's gonna be a shootout to beat. It's gonna be a 51-52 win. I mean, that's the only way we're gonna beat them. So, like RG3, the quarterback position, that's gonna be huge. I mean, you can't win without a quarterback. So, you know, this damn lighter won't light me, whatever. But anyways, if that's all you got, that's all
No,
I.
yeah, and I'm gonna
I'm,
wrap it up. Again, thanks for joining. I know this was kind of last minute,
yeah, it
uh,
was, but
but
I think,
I
all right,
but we gone about an hour or so. So
yeah.
thank
But
you for
before we
taking it.
go, I'd like to give a
Yeah,
shout out to a few people, if that's
all
okay.
right, go
I want to give a
ahead.
shout out to the
I was gonna,
squad, Pat, Nick, DG, even Andy, and the guy that even Daniel. Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate it. I haven't forgot about you. I like to give a shout out to everybody. It's y'all have been great. Y'all crack me up. Don't hesitate to tell me to shut up, Donald, because I do make a fool of myself, but that's me, and I love y'all, and that's it.
you forgot Jimbo. You
Oh,
forgot Jimbo.
Jimbo, you know what? Just you'll be back in a week. But
Hopefully.
it's Andy's fault. It's cool. You know that's all right though. You'll be back. So when you come back, you'll be all right.
All
So
right. All right. Well, again, thanks for joining, and we'll
anytime.
definitely have another
Sure.
episode in the future. So
So just
again,
chill
if you
to the
don't
next
follow,
episode.
if you don't follow uh, Donnie on Twitter, I don't blame you if you don't. But his at on Twitter is at Don McCarthy Jr. So
All righty. Go
just
Brown.
beware. Yeah, go Browns.
All right. Later.